It's Saturday, December 2nd, and I have to admit I'm out at the shop today. In fact, I work most Saturdays. And when I come out here, I'm alone, so I'm able to do some different things. I'm able to accomplish things. I kind of catch up, and then I goof around a little bit. Because, you know, after all week, I'm probably a little bit tired. But some of you may be thinking, well, can't you work too much? You know, you should take a break. I kind of like what I do, and I like working. I'm sorry, that's just the way I am. But I thought I would do a series on what I do on Saturdays, because it's a little bit different than what I do during the week and during the regular production of things we make here and the videos that I shoot on the cars. This isn't going to be highly technical. It's going to show some technical things, and if I do that, I'll just reference other videos I've already done on them. But I'm also going to show you maybe some other things I do that aren't related to cars. I've got 2 cars I'm focusing on, and these have been really tough to have the time to work on during the week because I got so many other things going on. But both these cars need to get on the road. The 300 SEL 4.5, I need to finish getting the chain in the engine, just the valves, get the plugs back in. I already put the airbags in, so this one's pretty close. Now Fritz here needs a bunch of little stuff before I can get it out the door and give it a good road test. Now why am I so focused on this? Well, both of these cars are what I call rolling restorations. And I really like rolling restorations because you don't get overwhelmed. You know, you drive a little bit, you fix something. You never have to tear a car all apart. Now, I've seen this so many times where people get a car and they tear it all apart thinking they're going to restore it, and it never happens. If you're thinking about getting one of these old Mercedes, get a rolling restoration. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that next Saturday when I'm out here, because I'll still be working. I have 3 of them right now, 3 rolling restorations that I'm working on. These 2 plus my white 300 SD, which I call Casper. So that's kind of the goal today. I don't think I'm going to get all this done, but let me show you some of the things I'm doing, and then maybe next Saturday I'll show you the results. You know, I'm really curious to see how well this 4.5 runs after putting a new chain in the engine. You saw how loose that chain was. Well, I've completed rolling the new chain into the engine. Here you can see the old chain, and I've got it ready to connect. I would have had this done a few days ago, but I decided, wow, I need to shoot some videos about this whole process. There's some real pitfalls and some things that could get you in trouble. Plus, when doing this job, I said, oh, I need to come up with a new tool. I mean, come on, this always happens. You got to have a better tool. When you're rolling these chains in, you need to be able to turn the engine over, and you need to be able to turn the engine over slowly and smoothly. And that means, for me, you need to get on the front crank bolt. Now, some people say they can tighten up the power steering bolts and turn the nut on the power steering pump pulley, but I prefer to do it with a crank. But on these V8s, you got to get way down in there. You don't have a lot of room. Of course, you don't want to take the time to pull the radiator. You do have to pull the fan and the shroud. I like to do it from up above. You can jack the car up and have someone turn the engine over from underneath. But I like to do it from up above because I use a helper, and when I use a helper, I've got an extra set of hands here while we're feeding the new chain in, and that's very critical. But sure enough, look at that. You've got to get a really, really long ratchet and just the right length extension on the socket to get in there and easily turn the engine over. So I'm going to keep working on this new special tool, and I'll be shooting another video probably sometime this week showing a little more details on this. But for now, I'm going to shoot a few more videos concerning this job, and then we're going to get that chain connected. We're going to adjust the valves. I'm going to get the spark plugs back in it, and we're going to fire this up. Now, you know, that's probably not going to happen today either. But it is going to happen real soon. My priority for Fritz today is to get it roadworthy. You know, I probably won't get all this done today, but I'm going to try because I need to get out and really give this car a good road test. I have not done that. It just got it to the shop, okay? Because I really want to check everything over before I decide how far I want to go on the car. And most of what I have to do to get the car roadworthy is related to the electrical. First off, the battery. The battery is showing that it was replaced in December of 2016, so it's a little less than a year old. But it was flat dead. I mean, it didn't have anything in it when I went to pick up the car. And a lot of times you cannot save a battery, particularly AGM batteries. I found if you let them go dead for any more than a very short period of time, you've just ruined a very expensive battery. So once again, that's a good reason to use a battery tender all the time on your old cars. But I wanted to give this battery a shot. You can tell it's not a very expensive battery, but I went ahead about 4 days ago and hooked it up to my smart charger that has a reconditioning cycle to it. And I let this thing sit on that recycle for about a day. And then I tested it okay, but I've learned you really want to let the battery sit for about 3 days after you recondition it. Now I'm not going to go over all this detail in this video because I've already done a bunch of videos about this. So once again, I'll just put some links in the show more below this video if you're interested in how I restore these old batteries. Now there's no guarantee that every old battery can be restored. Sometimes you'll get a few more months life out of it. It really depends on how much you drive the car. What I've learned is if you get an old battery and recondition it and put it in an old car you never drive, it probably won't work because they tend to need a little more constant charging when they've gotten abused. Okay, you know what I'm trying to say here. But I went ahead and did this reconditioning cycle and let it sat for 3 days. So let's go ahead and take a look at the tester. You can buy these cheap testers like this that you just hook up to the battery and it says, well, it's good or not good. They really don't tell you much about the battery. You really need this type of tester. Once again, I go over that in my other videos. But I'm going to show you now, as I hook this up and run this through the test cycle, just how good this battery is. And maybe I can get some more use out of it while I go out and road test old Fritz there. Okay, I'm going to hook my solar tester up. This is going to test the internal condition of the battery. The first thing, it'll show the voltage. Now notice it's at 12.78 volts. Right after charge, this was just a little bit over 13 volts. Now that was 3 days ago. So if you do this reconditioning cycle on your battery and let it sit for 3 days and you come back and it's dropped down below 12 volts on its own, it probably means the battery's not going to survive. But let's run it through the test cycle here. And we're going to test cold cranking amps. Look at that. It's showing I've got 647 cold cranking amps. This is a small battery. And right here, the green light is showing that this battery has passed the test. Now, once again, the real test is putting this battery in the car and driving it and letting it sit for a week and then driving it again. And that's going to show whether or not this battery really survived a long period of discharge. The other thing I have to do is some work on the lights, and that's going to begin with the fuse box. I'm going to take the time to just replace all those fuses. And then I've got a headlight that's not working. I've got front turn signals that aren't working, and one of the tail lights is out. So all that has to be fixed. So we'll kind of give you some sneak peeks of what I'm doing in and around Fritz today as far as the lights are concerned. And probably not today, but within the next couple of days, this thing will be ready for a real road test. Well, you can see here I've got some work to do on Fritz's lights. It's obvious why this one's not been working. It's got quite a bit of water and rust in it. This is what happens when a rock hits one of these lenses. And even if it's just the smallest hole, you allow water to get in here while you're driving down the freeway in heavy rain. It doesn't take much, but you'll get water down in there that's going to rust and corrode all the reflectors. You're also going to have problems on the backside with contacts in the bulbs. So this light's probably going to get tossed. There may be some parts in here, the housing's okay. But fortunately, I had another Euro headlight in my used parts stash, and it's in really nice shape. Now you can see here, there's no cracks or chips in the glass. There is a little bit of discoloration. So I have to decide now whether I want to take the time to pull this lens off. I can come in here and paint the bottom of that reflector with a little bit of reflector paint, and I can paint that faded gray part with some plastic gray paint and really detail this headlight out. But man, you know, I've got to kind of think about this. I may just want to stick this thing in here and get the lights running so I can get this out on a road test. Also, there's some real funky wiring going on here. You can see that's not factory. Somebody's done some splicing here and the turn signals. So, you know, I'm going to have to deal with that. And if you look at the turn signal lens on the right side, it's got a hole in it, so it's probably suffering from the same thing, corrosion around the bulb contacts. So I got to fix the headlights, fix the turn signals, go through the taillight assemblies before I can get this back out on the road. But I'll come back in a future video and we'll go over some of this light stuff in more detail. And sometimes on Saturdays when I'm out here by myself, I just have to do things that I feel like I want to do. You know, sometimes it's like not even a high priority like what I'm doing right now, but why would I be pulling this carpet out of Fritz here and trying to clean it? Well, believe it or not, auto detailing is fun for me. I love taking a car that's kind of ugly and dirty and scratched up, and I just love detailing it to that highest level. So what I wanted to do today was just pull this trunk carpet out of the trunk and play around with some of these spots. This will give me a pretty good idea whether this is going to clean up real well or not. I mean, I'm not going to clean the whole thing today, but I'll just take about 10 minutes here and kind of play with the carpet, all right? Now, I've already kind of swept this off area. I'm just going to do this area right here. You can see a before picture. And now I'm going to attack this. And let's see, there's some pretty bad spots in here. And I'm curious, all right? This is probably more my curiosity than anything. We're going to try and see if we can get this to clean up. Uh-oh, it looks like my brush is getting old. Sure enough, it's starting to lose. Looks like my brush is getting a little old here. It's probably been in too many chemicals. Well, that's okay. I can just focus on this one spot right here. Look at that. All right, this brush is going to go bye-bye. Oh, it's all over the place. Well, I guess what's fun with this is kind of turning to not so fun, because now I got to sweep the shop floor and clean this carpet up. But I'll just take a little water here and wipe this down. Well, it looks like these stains right here are not going to come out. Oh, shoot. Well, I bet you it's going to be really hard to find another green carpet out of a W126. You know, if anybody out there has a really nice one, be sure and let me know. Well, you can see right here that stain's probably not going to come out. A lot of this area over in here cleaned up fine in spite of these little pieces from the brush. There may not be anything I can do with this. You can see how much dirt I'm already pulling out of the carpet. But, you know, I can let the cleaner soak on here a little bit more and kind of work this. But I think that's a permanent stain from something that somebody spilled in the trunk. Oh, shoot. Well, we'll try to do the best we can with old Fritz's carpet. You know, if you want to know more about how I detail cars, I'm not going to cover it on these Saturday episodes, but I've got lots of videos about extreme detailing, interior, engines, bodies, whatever. I'll put links below this video that'll take you to those other videos if you're interested in finding out how I do this type of detailing in detail. The other thing I have to do today is sand and stain these cedar boards. Oh, just another little side job. So you might be thinking, well, Kent, what are you sanding and staining cedar boards for? Well, you know, sometimes if you're doing a job, you just got to get it done, particularly if you can't find people to help you. Now, I had good success at the lumberyard today. These are for some cedar window trim, and I had to go into the lumberyard and hand pick these. I must have gone through about 100 boards because I wanted to choose some cedar that was light in color and just had a few knots, just a few, not a lot. I didn't want the dark cedar color. And why am I doing this? Because I'm building a log cabin for my wife, Linda. It's already about 4:30, and I got to get some stain on these, probably either tonight or tomorrow morning, because Monday I got to head back up into the hills and get these dry enough so I can get them on. We're trying to get the rest of the siding on the cabin. I think you can see I've way overscheduled myself, and I'll probably be coming out here and working tomorrow Sunday as well. So I hope you all have a good week and take a little time to have a little fun.